Welcome to the Generate Color demo. So I'm going to give you a quick little tour of the color generator demo. We're going to generate colors in 3 different ways with 3 different functions and 3 different types of colors. This will get you familiar with how to generate colors. So I just kind of want to go over what we see over here. First off, in the code, we have 3 global variables, color 1, color 2, color 3. These are going to be storing values of colors. Here is our getRandomInteger function. Since you typed it once, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there for you with the updated code. We're going to be using this function throughout. Let's go to design. Here's a click button. So when you click here, it's going to put the hexadecimal value in here instead of the words click here. And then it's going to put a border color that's going to be different here, and then it's going to change the background of the start screen to a 3rd color. When we click this button, it's going to take you to the colors screen, which basically are going to say the value of color 1, the value of color 2, and the value of color 3. Then it's going to assign that color to the background color of this little element right here underneath each of these guys. When we click back to home, it's gonna take you back to the home screen. That's what we're gonna do. So let's go back to code. All right, so here is a note here that we're gonna create our function for generating random hexadecimal values here. So here's what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna start with the keyword function. Gen hex, because that stands for generate hex. I'm going to use a technique called coding from the outside in. So what this does is it basically makes sure that I don't lose my curly braces. I like doing the whole syntactical structure and then coding on the inside. First, I'm going to start with a variable, and I'm going to call it hex values. And it's going to have all of the characters that are available in the hexadecimal spectrum. So hexadecimal basically means 16 characters. So we're going to just start with a string, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, A, B, C, D, E, F. So those are all of the values that are available for a hexadecimal value. So like all F's, right? 6 F's in a row is white. All zeros, 6 zeros in a row is black. But you're like, hey, well, this is just a string. Well, we're going to change that right now. So we're going to use hex values, and we're going to set its new value to hex values dot split. Split is a thing you can do with strings. You can do this with lists as well. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to split it at a very specific character right now. So I'm going to just put this at 0 so that you guys can see what this looks like. I'll just do console.log and pass it the value of hex values. And so what this will do is this will output an array split at the 0 character. I want to test this, so I am going to hit run. If I just type here at the bottom, I can type stuff in the console in order to test it before I run it. The program has to be running in order for me to access this function, so let's do that. I already started the run process. We're going to type gen hex. If I type this without parentheses, it'll just give me the definition, and it'll just show me the code for that function. So here you can see an array of 2 items, or a list of 2 items. One is 1 through 9, and the other is all the letters. Our 0 is gone. So it took the string that we had, got rid of the 0, and just split it into 2 elements. What's before the 0 and what's after the 0. But that's not what we want. We want to have all of these characters as individual items, and this is how we do it. Let's go ahead and remove the 0 from that. We're going to have to, since we've changed our code, we'll have to reset and run. Now I can just click down here. If I use the up arrow, it gives me the last item that I called. So now you can see I have each individual character in that string as a element within this array called hex values. That's kind of neat, right? It'll make things easier for us rather than just typing all of these individual things, these individual elements. If I just have one string and I split it up, I'm going to have all of the items that I need for that list. That's what I want you to see there. So now that we've done this, I'm going to go ahead and remove the console.log. I have it here for later if I need it. I'm going to create a new variable, and it's going to be called hex color. And it is going to be equal to, all hexadecimal values start out with the pound symbol, also known as the hashtag. Now I'm going to add to that hexadecimal value by giving it 6 different individual items from that array. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to use a for loop. So for I equals 0, right, semicolon, as long as I is less than 6, semicolon, I plus plus. All right, so again, we're just setting the initial value of I to 0. This is typical for like when we're going to traverse a list. We're not traversing a list exactly at the moment, but we're going to get an individual index from each turn of the loop. I less than 6 basically is going to give us 6 turns at the loop because I starts at 0. We have 0 through 5, or 6 values in our hexadecimal value. Var new val equals, and I'm going to go to my hex values list, and I'm going to grab a single element out of this item by its index. I am going to insert our getRandomInt function between the square brackets so I can access a randomized index from our list. We're going to use getRandomInt to get 0, 15. Now I can do this statically. I don't have to do hex values.length -1 because I know that this is always going to be 16 elements. So I can do this with a static number. If I have an array or a list that might vary, then I might want to do like dot length -1 to get its top index. But in this case, we know it's 16 and it's always going to be 16, so it's going to be indexes 0 through 15. Now I'm going to take my hex color and I'm going to use what's called a plus equals. Basically it says, hey, take the current value and add to it what I put next. So I'm going to say new val. So it's going to grab a value from the array of hex values, store it in new val, then add it to the value of hex color. And we can see this a proper hex color value by doing a console.log and just passing it hex color. And this way we can see it build up every time the loop turns. And this will be good to let you see that. Let's go ahead and reset and run. And I'll just use the up arrow. So click at the bottom here, use the up arrow and enter. And I mistyped getRandomInt, so that's good. We'll just take care of that. Reset, run, gen hex. And so you can see the first time it goes through the loop, it gets the letter B. The second time it goes through the loop, it gets the number 2. The third time it goes through the loop, it gets the letter F. Fourth time, it gets 8. Fifth time, it gets 5. And then last but not least, it gets the letter A on the 6th turn of the loop. We can then turn around and use our return value and send it back hex color. So this is going to do just like our getRandomInt. It's going to return the value from whence it was called. So now I'm going to go ahead and reset. And this time it's not going to show us the console.log. It's going to just show us the hex color. So again, we need to run, and then down here at the bottom, if I click the up arrow, it's going to give me my gen hex, and voila, there it is. We have a beautiful hex color. This is the end of part 1. We made a list from a string of characters. We accessed that list with random index values. We used a for loop to build a complete and valid hexadecimal value. We will be doing more with lists in the next video, where we will be making a function to generate random RGB values. As always, I hope this was fun and informative. Happy coding, everyone! See you in the next video.